So hi, One Guys Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
I'm Viktor.
And I'm Marcel, and we're from SENNA.
and we're some questions say about the upcoming album "Stranger to Love." So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's been really great. It's been really great. It's been rewarding. We took our sweet time to release new music, so we were nervous. But then we put it out, and everyone seemed to like it very much. It is a bit different from our previous music, so we were really nervous, but response has been great so far.
Hell yeah,
That's
the
wonderful.
album rocks. It definitely
Oh
bounces
yeah,
around a little bit in terms of genre, but I dig it. It's awesome.
damn
Thank
straight.
you so much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
nice.
you.
You're welcome. I'm curious, you mentioned you took your sweet time. We spoke a few years ago. It's been a hot minute. I'm curious about the timeline, when the writing process for the album started and when you guys had masters in hand. Rough dates, they don't have to be exact.
Yeah. So there's one song on the album which has this strange title, NSLC.
Mhm.
That has been written, or we started writing this song actually before the EP even dropped, which was in 2022. I think we started writing this song in 2021 even.
Damn.
So yeah, it's been a while. So when we started writing that song, we kind of figured it's kind of a different sound. We had this EP already, so we just said let's package this up, get this out, and then see how the sound maybe changes over time if we want to do something else. If we like you said, bounce around some more genres. I think the first EP was a bit more straightforward. This time a bit more experimental, hopefully unique. Yeah, so we've been writing new music ever since, so 2021. We had all the demos finished, I would say probably end of 2023,
Uh-huh.
but then we took almost a year to finalize everything. I think we even tracked some vocals from scratch. We kicked some songs out, we rewrote some parts, and then yeah, I think final masters we had in early 2025. Victor, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a long process. So it feels really strange because some of the songs are as old as 2021. So we know them
Yeah,
already.
You guys are
that's
familiar. Yeah.
that's one hell of a process for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are are you guys still some of these songs they've existed, like we said, since 2021? Are you guys still relating to what you are saying on the album because you've spent so much time crafting this body of work?
I think yes. I think it kind of goes in and out. So there's certainly been some points where I just had my head completely in a different place. And then you go back to those songs and then you realize, oh wait, this is actually really cool. You kind of relive the whole writing process,
Mhm.
and when you take that long, you do a couple of these cycles, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a great thing is whenever we go back, we realize, hey, it's still great music. We still love it. So we didn't have to kick anything out because after 2 years we thought maybe, oh, this is not really we don't like that anymore. That hasn't happened at all. It's more like we rediscovered ourselves
Mhm.
every couple
Oh,
of, I guess, years.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it still works. So this actually it's a bit strange, but it's also really cool in a way.
That makes sense.
Great. Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
And is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, so title definitely, which is um I think a lot of songs revolve around love in some kind of way.
Hmm.
And I think maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but also the songs where they're kind of more about yourself. It's much about loving yourself or like embracing yourself, or maybe not being able to do that and being critical of yourself, being insecure. So kind of everything revolves around love, and in a way maybe being a stranger to it because you're not loving yourself or you're loving someone else, but they're not reciprocating.
Mhm.
So it's kind of the centerpiece. So we thought about this title, and it is of course also a reference to Rick Astley's song, which shall not be named.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made a lot of sense. So we rolled with it. As for the album cover, maybe Victor can um, walk you through the process.
Yeah, like a moment of quiet also is the artwork is from Sandro. And yeah, we decided to work again with him because we just like his art style a lot. And we kind of just let him do his stuff. I think the first draft was a Google Doc with like 50, 60 images, and this art direction could have gone anywhere.
Mm.
And but we decided to go into a simpler thing, like you may find something in there, not on the first look, but on the second one, and that just made sense with the album artwork. And yeah, basically we just let Sandro do his thing, and he did it very well. Um, at some point, I think after the second session, we decided on like some color scheme that we wanted to have it all in black, white, and red.
Mhm.
I think the idea started with a sketch where he just drew some lines, and they kind of looked like veins, and so the idea just went into this direction. And yeah,
Gotcha.
red is also the color of love,
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
it's very fitting.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I think not so different from the EP. So it's not that we kind of revisited the process, we just did more of it, and we felt just very comfortable doing that because back in the day when we wrote the EP, everyone was kind of getting to know each other.
Mhm.
But then we just found our groove and wrote a bunch of songs basically, which usually I start off with some guitar riff, and so anywhere between maybe 30 seconds to maybe 2 minutes. So you can kind of get a sense of this might be a verse, this might be a chorus, something like that. And that's usually already when we go hit the studio, because so our producer is called Manuel Renner. He's a German producer, and he's not only producing, he's really co-writing all our songs. So we go there very early. We start writing with him together, and we save a bunch of time because he can already track the parts in in the proper quality.
Yeah.
So if we're lucky and we're not really changing many things up, we have maybe 2 or 3 writing sessions, and that's usually a whole song instrumentally.
Damn.
And then, we can work on vocal ideas. That usually takes much longer because I feel like you have so many more options with vocals. It's
Mhm.
such a
Yeah.
versatile instrument in a way. So, and then you also have to write lyrics, of course, which is probably even harder, and there's even more options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Lot of
yeah,
Words.
a lot of words, yeah.
Lot of words.
Luckily, we don't know as many because it's not our native language, so our pool is a bit more limited.
yeah.
There's
There you go.
yeah.
It helps you out a bit. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But funnily enough, this I like to do this when writing as well, is kind of limiting um your process in some kind of way,
Yeah.
because that usually I get overwhelmed really easily with
Mm.
choice. Also, when watching movies or some shit, it's like if there's too much stuff on Netflix, I just end up not watching anything.
So
The movie,
yeah.
the movie is scrolling through all the options. I get it. I do
Yeah,
that
and then
way
at
too
some point
much.
it's like, yeah, and at some point you're tired. It's like I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but then we usually are really fast, and we are very critical when writing the songs already. So usually we don't have a lot of material that gets cut out in the end. So I think we only have 3 or 4 songs that were really far in the process and didn't make the cut,
Mhm.
which I think is very, very low. Like sometimes I'm surprised when other bands or artists, they sometimes throw out numbers like we did 50 songs that didn't make the cut. It's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
that's a bunch of work. Yeah, I'm lazy.
That's a lot of whittling down. And then Glory is always fascinated by that, so she always asks, like, what was the process like? And they're just like,
The
you know,
sorting
we just chop it down. Like, yeah, but
Eeny,
how?
meeny, miny. It's like, but what do you mean?
Yeah.
What's the sorting process? It never makes any sense. There's never any consistency. It's
I,
crazy.
I'm not sure it makes sense for like if you're doing it. I have a really strange relationship to that but also because everything took so long,
Mm.
you kind of get to detached in like in some phases. I was kind of really detached to the songs, but I think that's a good thing because then you really start to think critically about it, and especially because this is our first record, we didn't want to have a million songs and none of them be good or just a few of them. So it felt much better to cut out songs just because we knew we had to, like every song needs to be absolutely fantastic for the people because else they might be put off, and might not like it. So it made it much easier to just go, hey, we have um how many songs is it now? Is it 11 or 12, I believe? I don't know.
It's 11. They have
11,
there
yeah.
have been 12 songs, but
Yeah.
yeah, we decided against one.
Okay.
Make the cut.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So, what song off the album took the longest to write, and then which one is each of your own personal favorite?
So I'll start off with the longest to write, which is, I think, officially would be NSLC because um yeah, we it's the instrumental was done in 2021.
Mhm.
But I think actual time spending writing it and working on it was probably Hurricane. Was the song with the most parts that got recorded and then we changed up a month later, so completely different verse. And I think also writing the vocal parts took the longest. And this happened to us with Rosehip as well, where we felt really strong about the song. So that kind of increases the pressure a lot. So we were really, and we knew like very early on that this is going to be the album opener. So we knew, okay, this needs to be 100% really, really fucking good. So we procrastinated a bunch and
Yeah, yeah.
did something else first. And then at some point, we found vocal lines that we like. We wrote lyrics that we liked, and then yeah, that was the pros probably the most involved and the longest active writing.
Mhm.
So my personal favorite is Polarized.
Mhm.
It's the last track. It's also the last track that we recorded and wrote for the record. And so the reason I really like it is that it, to me at least, feels quite differently from the rest. It's very minimalist. It's very guitar driven. There's at times kind of just a guitar, bass, a drum set, and a singer singing some stuff over it.
Mhm.
And I find that really, really challenging to write that because if there's not a lot of instruments, everything has to count. You have to make everything count.
Mhm.
And I really like how it turned out. So that's, I think, my favorite.
All right.
Yeah, my favorite has to be Hurricane because I do remember when you I have not been a member of SENNA in 2023. I joined for the tour with Being as an Ocean
Mhm.
because Leon couldn't make it. And I remember the story from the studio where they recorded Hurricane. And yeah, no kidding. I rewatched this story 50 times because I dig this intro so much. I just instantly fell in love with this particular part,
Mhm.
and like when the vocals set in. And it's also my favorite song to play live, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
it's just perfect.
Hell yeah.
that's
Love
so
it.
special.
So how did the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener to be the opener, close to be a closer? Did shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
So we don't write specifically for certain slots, but I think just from the demo of Hurricane, I think everyone was just already set. This has to be the opener because I think the intro of the song was done very early, and that just set the mood, and everyone was really set on that being the intro.
Mhm.
And with Polarized, I think we just ended up writing this whole outro section. And I think when writing, we kind of already made the decision. Okay, so this is kind of we can go there if we wanted to. So then we talked about it a little bit, and then we said, okay, let's do an album outro, like finish the song in a way where it kind of also closes the album in a meaningful, good way. But that was kind of halfway in between.
Mhm.
And as for the track list, I think we just wanted to put a lot of the strong songs, which also ended up being the singles, in front. Just it's kind of a lame reason, but when people listen to an album, they listen to it from front to back. So we kind of wanted to have a good first impression. And um, some of the later songs, I don't think they're less good, but I guess they're maybe less straightforward, bit more experimental.
Mhm.
Get a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that works for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant at the beginning when I said it kind of bounces all over the place. Second half
Oh,
of
yeah,
the record, like you flip the vinyl in a sense, and I was like, all right, what is it even the same band?
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking dope.
Yeah.
So
That's cool to hear.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
It's hard to tell because it was done over such a long time span, but
Yeah.
so for me in the studio, it's kind of my happy place. So all of us, we do have regular day jobs.
Mhm.
So this is really, it's kind of lame and cringy, but music is our escape in a
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah.
yeah, it felt bad saying it, but
It's painful as a musician to say that shit.
Yeah.
yeah. But it truly is because I just love writing music, especially with Martin. I enjoy the writing process, and it can be really intense at times, but I just go into this flow state with him where we just bounce ideas and we work them out when we forget the time, and I think the headspace was just we felt very creative in that time, and that's also how some of the later songs more experimental or like the kind of weird shit that happened during like I feel like we try not to force stuff like this, but it just kind of happens naturally. And if that's something anyone from us wants to try out, we just try it out and we see if it works out for us. And I feel like that requires a lot of trust and feeling comfortable from all parties involved. So I think in a sense, the album reflects that. It's just trying out, see what sticks, seeing where we want to develop into as well. Because again, it's our first record, and it's so much effort creating so many songs, and there's so many possibilities how you can do it.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to limit us, but just go for it, see what ends up happening.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You can only do your debut record once, so you got to take the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Viktor, I know you joined the band on the later side of things, but if do you have anything to weigh in on the headspace for you?
I joined pretty much in the beginning of 2024.
Mhm.
And I think from then on, we were just excited to get things going. We couldn't wait for the masters to be finished. We couldn't wait for the stem exports to be uploaded
Mhm.
because we just wanted to like learn the songs and like prepare for a live setting. Because this is something totally different. The songs are written in a studio, and then when you're in a practice room, things might feel different, and then you are trying to like try different stuff. What works in that specific part? Do we have to maybe change a little detail to make it even better for the live setting? So I think I for myself was very excited to get this going, even though I did not do anything for the album. But yeah,
Fair
from
enough.
that on, I just love playing live.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
damn
love it.
straight. Damn straight.
So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends and Dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
Victor, go first. How did you listen to it the first time?
My first time was in the bunk bed, one being as an ocean tour when I listened to the demos. So that was kind of awesome because I even asked them, is the album finished? Like, release it tomorrow. And no, these are demos, and I couldn't believe it because they are so well produced at that point, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could see it with some friends. I personally listen to music more for my own, to be honest. But I think this music works really great in a live setting. So come see us live.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
No, I think our music is very accessible, so you can kind of just hang out with your friends and listen to it. It's a lot of fun. But you can also dig deep, listen with headphones, really try to make out the details. So I think it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
But yeah, most fun, definitely the live experience. That's unique to every show, even so that's really cool.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total, no more, no less.
Fun,
Okay.
unique,
Okay.
and authentic.
Damn
Hopefully.
straight.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay.
Alive,
Okay.
sad,
Mm-hmm.
but also happy.
Those
Hell
are
yeah.
good. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I think for me, fun. It's supposed to be fun, even if there's sad songs and there's also the lyrics are sometimes sad or more serious. But I think we try out a lot of stuff and the idea is just for the music to be fun in a way. And I think even listening to sad music can be fun in a strange way where we tend to I don't think any of our songs are just straight up sad songs where you just cry the whole way through. There's usually some little unique twists in there that sometimes maybe they are little bit out there, but
Mhm.
I think it kind of makes sense because sometimes there's um that's how I think about life where there's even if there's really sad situations, there's most of the times some absurd way to look at it and make it hopefully a bit more manageable and see it in a fun way, I guess.
That makes sense. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd
And
like also to like people connect with the lyrics because there is something that everyone can connect to.
Mhm.
So for each situation in life, there should be a song on Stranger to Love.
Exactly. Something for everyone at every time.
Yeah.
Damn straight. And are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
Staying patient
Mm.
to wait for the right moment to move forward was for me, but I also think for the other guys, was the hardest part. Because at a certain point, like to us, it's really old news.
Mm.
And we just at points want to get it out there and move on.
Mhm.
But I think so Tom Williams is our manager and he's just a very wise man.
Mhm.
He keeps telling us, to everyone else it's new music
Mhm.
and it's gonna be new music to them in a year, even in 5 years.
Mhm.
So chill out, guys.
Yeah.
And I think that um, we had to hear that a lot from him because we needed to hear it a lot.
Yeah.
So all the better that it's out now, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Great.
And for this last question, boom, we're replacing you guys on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
For me, it's movie Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it in English, to be honest. Album Meshuggah, and person, I'm not sure, Bob Ross maybe.
Hell yeah. Chill as fuck.
Hell yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Bob Ross and Meshuggah, that's metal.
That's my name.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up with that. So album, I'm gonna go with I Let It In and It Took Everything from Loaf.
Mm-hmm. I just saw them last night.
Oh, I'm really, really jealous. I've never seen them.
They rocked.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I already saw they played a new song too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. For movie, I'm gonna go with Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Person, gonna go with my girlfriend because she might be listening to this. So
That's a safe bet.
Shout out her. Yeah.
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 So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Yeah, we of course love for everyone to check out our album. Of course, we're also on all social media platforms, but really, just listening to the album, um, telling us how you feel about it, if you'd liked it, also if you didn't like it, just hearing from you, means the world to us. So for me, the most important thing, and what's still also just blowing my mind is that people actually are listening to our music. So this is kind of why we're doing it, playing shows, creating music. So yeah, go check out our album and hit us up, write us DMs. We read all of them because it's not so many that we cannot simply just read all of them.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you, SENNA. This guy's been Marcel and Viktor from SENNA, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.